The Group 1 race got off to a spectacular start, with the leading contenders going 4 wide on the run to the first corner. It was the white chevron of Maurizio Bianco who started from pole, but Tony Siler's blue and yellow Lola T70, which was rebuilt after being destroyed here 2 years ago, managed to take the race lead away into turn 1. Alexander Furiani came round the outside in the blue chevron to take second, whilst Claudio Rodaro's Gulf-liveried Porsche came from 9th on the grid to be 4th after lap 1. Sadly, the Porsche 908 of Peter Vogler was involved in a collision with Armand Millet's Lola at the top of the hill on lap 1, bringing out a safety car and starting a lengthy recovery process. On the restart, Tony Siler was raring to go and caught everybody else napping, pulling clear at the head of the field by several seconds. Claudio Rodaro, though, was the man on the move, first getting past Bianco and then Furiani on the run across the start-finish line before reeling in the leader, Siler. He brought Furiani with him, making it a three-way fight for the lead, but it was almost inevitable that the Porsche would go through. Quicker in a straight line and significantly better under braking, he was eventually able to find a way through into the first corner. On the exit, Siler tried to fight back, got to the inside at turn 2, but just couldn't quite do enough to reclaim the race lead. When the pit stop window opened, Rodaro was one of the first in, and he rejoined just in front of the Furiani and Bianco battle that was going on behind him. Tony Siler was now down to 4th, but still right in touch with them, and that began a sensational battle for the race lead, with Furiani nearly getting past the big Porsche on several occasions, almost driving underneath the rear bodywork at one point. Pierre-Alain France's Lola T70 pulled into retirement though at about 2/3 race distance, bringing out the safety car, and whilst the pace car was on the track, the heavens opened, meaning it would be a slippery race restart when the race resumed. When the safety car peeled into the pit lane, it was the Porsche that seemed to have the edge in the wet conditions, as had been the case in a wet practice session a couple of days earlier. Rodaro was able to pull away and remained relatively unchallenged in the remaining 10 minutes of the race. Yellow flag stayed out through the middle sector because of the stricken Lola, but none of this affected Rodaro, with Bianco briefly into second before spinning away a podium finish coming out of turn 2. In the end though, it was one of the most iconic cars at the Hungaroring Classic that notched up another race victory, with the Gulf-liveried Porsche 917 of Rodaro coming home victorious from Furiani second and Tony Siler on the podium. The 2-litre Cup may have been the final race of the weekend, but it was well worth the wait. This series for near identical 1970s Porsche 911s provided side-by-side racing from start to finish, with some star racing driver names getting involved in the fun. It was Simon Evans in the car that he shares with James Littlejohn who led the first part of the race, pulling a sizable margin on the rest of the field in the early laps.